Good morning, otters and squirrels. Happy Monday. Time to get our maths brains into gear. And this week, our focus is going to be all about multiplication. So we're going to be looking at our times table facts. We are going to be practicing some of our formal written methods for multiplication. We are going to do some problem solving with multiplication. And then at the end of the week, we've got some practical activities to finish off the final week of home learning and to celebrate all the hard work that you've done. So to begin with, we always start on a Monday with a 5-a-day, which is to get our mathematician brains into gear. So your 5-a-day saved in the OneDrive. If you've got it open on your computer, brilliant. If you've got it printed off, great as well. Any way that you've got it. If you need to get it ready, that's fine as well. It looks like, let's see if I can get it open for you. It looks like this. So when you've got it ready, pause me, don't spend any more than 10 minutes. And when you're done, come back to me and we can mark it together. Now, please pause me and do it independently and show us what you can do on your own. Show you working out if you need to, whatever it is you need to do, and then press play again. And obviously we would like to see your 5-a-days and see how you're getting on if you want to send them across to us. So pause me, get on with your 5-a-day, and I will see you in a minute or 10 to mark it with you. Good luck. Okay, year 3, so you should be ready to mark your 5-a-day now, and there's a few tricky ones on here. I've tried to catch you out a little bit to see if I could trick you a little bit, but I'm hoping that you'll get them all right. Okay, so let's start with, should we start with a simple one? Let's start with this one down here. 40 more than 345. Now, you could have done this in many ways. You could have done, excuse my very rushed handwriting, you could have done 345 add on 40 using your column addition if you'd wanted. Or you could have known that double 40, 40 and 40 makes 80, changing this number to 385. So if you've got 385 in that box, whether you've got working out or not, you are right. Give yourselves a tick. Well done. Nice and simple to start us off. Perfect. Right, this time I'm going to move up to this shape one up here. I'm going to change this colour here. It says name this shape. Now, I tricked you with this one because if a shape has equal sides, we call it a regular of that shape. If the shape has different length sides, the sides are of different lengths, we call it an irregular of the shape name. So firstly, we need to find out what shape it is by counting the sides. So let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5-sided shape. Can anybody remember the name of a 5-sided shape? Well, it is a pentagon. Well done if you got it right. Now, this shape has got different length of sides. The sides are not equal. So it's not a regular pentagon. It is an irregular pentagon. Now, if you got pentagon, I'm going to say you can have the point today. If you got irregular pentagon, I'm going to give you a bonus point because we need to remember that if a shape has this equal sides, the sides are all equal, then it's the name of the shape, the pentagon, a regular pentagon. But if it has different sides, it's irregular, even though it's still a pentagon. Okay, so pentagon, 1 point, irregular pentagon, which I don't know if anybody will have got. Let me know if you did get a regular pentagon, is a bonus point there. Well done. Okay, so let's go down here, nice and easy. Well, it's nice and easy if you're doing your 8 times tables, not so easy if you're not quite on them yet. Okay, so 8 times 7, quite a tricky one. So you have to count up in your 8 7 times. Now, if you are working on your 8s, you should have known this quite quickly. If you're not working on your 8s, don't worry, as long as you had a little go, and it might have taken you a bit of time to figure it out. 8 times 7, what is it? Well done if you got the answer. 56 is the answer to that question. Give yourself a point. Oh, that doesn't look like a 6. 56. There we go. Well done. Okay, let's do this one here. So show your working for. So you should have shown your working here for this question. So you should have done your column subtraction. 456, take away, and make sure it's all under the right, in the right columns. Take away 132. So 6 take away 2 leaves me with 4. Shouldn't need your fingers, I'm just showing you. 5 take away 3 leaves you with 2. And 4 take away 1 leaves you with 3. The answer here is 324. I hope you got that one right. There was no carrying over there. It was a nice, simple takeaway. Just practicing your column subtraction there. Well done. That's a point. Okay, so up to this one. Today is Monday, the 2nd of December. Well, it isn't because we're on the 1st of March, but never mind. What day of the week will it be on the 12th of December? So how many days does it take me to get from the 2nd to the 12th? Well done. It's 10 days different. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. 10 days difference. So 10 days difference, and I'm on Monday. So I'm going to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Let me check if I'm right. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. I'm not right. I've got to go from the day after Monday, the 2nd. So Monday the 2nd, Tuesday the 3rd, Wednesday the 4th, Thursday the 5th, Friday the 6th, Saturday the 7th, Sunday the 8th, Monday the 9th, Tuesday the 10th, Wednesday the 11th, I'm losing it here, Thursday the 12th. So it is a Thursday. So if you got the answer Thursday in here, tricky one that one was, Thursday, then you have got yourself a point there as well. So 1 point here, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 5 points if you got pentagon, but a bonus if you got irregular. So there's a maximum of 6 points here. Let us know how you got on. Well done, everybody. That really got my maths brain into gear today. I don't know about you. It's been a bit slow this morning getting started. Let me just stop that share there. So today we're starting our multiplication week with something that is quite simple, but something we haven't practiced very much of, and that is multiplying by a multiple of 10 or 100. Now, we've covered what a multiple means, but I'm going to just remind you, if we're looking for a multiple of a number, we're looking for a number in that times table. So a multiple of 10 is a number that is in the 10 times table. So all of our multiples of 10 we know, because they're easy. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 are all our multiples of 10. What is the same about all of those multiples of 10? Well done, they all end in a 0. Now, if I was looking at multiples of 100, that's all the numbers in my 100 times table, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. They're my multiples of 100. What do we notice about all of those? Well done, you've got it. They end in a 0 as well. In fact, they end, most of them, apart from 1,000, with 2 zeros, okay, in those multiples of 100. Now, when we're multiplying a number by a multiple of 10 or a multiple of 100, we can use our multiplication facts to help us. I'm going to show you a little video to begin with, and then I'm going to go do a few with you, and you're going to set yourselves up to have a go yourselves. So let's watch this short video first, if I can find it. I always lose it when I'm trying to share it with you. Here it is. So just a very short video, just listen up, and then I will go over it with you.
Hello, you two. You're on the farm, I see. A Grumbledorp farm, you say? Okay. What an interesting animal. That must mean feeding time. Are you going to help feed the herd? How many Grumbledorps need feeding? There are 6 pens with 30 Grumbledorps in each. What's 6 times 30? I know, Snoop. It is quite a tricky sum. You can make it easier by thinking of 30 as 3 times 10. Then multiply 6 by the 3, which makes 18, and multiply 18 by the 10. 18 times 10 equals 180 Grumbledorps altogether. Let's see what's in the barn. It looks like one sack is enough for 20 Grumbledorps. If you've got 180 to feed, how many sacks will you need? If you're dividing numbers that end in a 0, you can start by dividing them by 10. 180 divided by 10 is 18. And 20 divided by 10 is 2. Then you just need to divide 18 by 2, which equals 9. Okay then, we've got our 9 sacks of feed. Let's go feed some Grumbledorps. I think we're going to need a bigger tractor.
Okay, so that was just giving you a quick introduction to what we are doing. Let me just stop the share. So as you can see that we're not going to do dividing, we're only going to look at multiplication this week. Now, in fact, we haven't done any dividing in year 3 yet, which will be something we will look at once we're back in school together. So as you can see, when we're multiplying our numbers together, if we get a big number like multiplying something by 30, that is not something that we've learned when we're doing our mental recall in our maths lessons, but we can use our mental recall, that things that we have been learning, to help us out. So I'm going to share a screen with you again to do a few of these with you and show you what you're going to get up to today. Now, once we've done a few together, I'm absolutely really confident that you're going to be absolutely fantastic at this, because once you know the rule, it's like learning anything. Once you know the rule, it becomes quite straightforward. So here's our date and our waltz multiplied by multiples of 10 and 100. That's what we're learning to do today. Now, when I say we're learning to do it, you know how to do this, but you've probably never practiced it before. So we'll do a few together. I'll show you the worksheet you're going to do today, and then you can do this and prove to us that you know what to do. So I'm going to start with this one down here, and this is the one they did as our example, I think, on the video just now. They've got 3 times 60. Now, we've never done numbers this big when we're multiplying. Never. Because when we're learning our multiplication facts, we only go up to the 12s, don't we? Normally we do 3 times 12, and that's as high as we ever go. But if we have got numbers this big and they are a multiple of 10, like this one is a multiple of 10, it's in the 10 times table, we can do a little trick to help us to find the answer. So it seems like a really daunting sum, like a really big sum for us to do. But actually, when we get down to the nitty-gritty of it, it's not as hard as it seems. So underneath here, 3 times 60, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the 60, my multiple of 10, 10 times smaller. So I'm going to divide it by 10, 60 divided by 10. So how many tens are there in 60? I know there's 6. So I'm going to change this sum. I'm going to make it simpler. Now, I've said that in quite a confusing way. Oops, equals, oops. So I'm making this 60 10 times smaller. So I'm dividing it by 10. Okay. And that all that means is I'm taking the 0 off. Okay. To divide it by 10, I'm taking the 0 off. So my multiple of 10 gets 10 times smaller by taking the 0 off. Okay, that's what we need to remember. So underneath here, in fact, if I make this one a different colour as our starting sum, make it red to start with. So underneath here then, I'm going to do 3. The 3 stays the same, multiplied by 6. Now we know this because we know our 3 times table, don't we? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So my answer here is 18. But that's not the answer to my original sum, is it? Because I changed this 6 down here, I made it 10 times smaller. So I need to make my answer 10 times bigger. So now I'm going to do 18 multiplied by 10. 18 multiplied by 10. Well, how do I do that? 18 times 10. If I multiply something by 10, what do I need to do? That's right, I add a 0 on, don't I? So 18 multiplied 10 by 10 becomes 180. And I've now found my answer to my original sum. 3 times 60 is 180. And I did it through these little steps here that I took. Should we do another one together for you to have a look at? Let me move this one across. And then I might stop and let you have a go at one yourselves. So 7 times 50. Okay, now we've got a multiple of 10 here. That's 50. Let's change this into a different colour as our original calculation. 7 times 50. Now, I've never done 7 times 50. That's such a big number. So I need to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to make the 50 10 times smaller. That means I take the 0 off. So it becomes 7 times 5. Oh, that's easy because I know my 5 times table. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 7 times 5 is 35. That's easy. There we go. We'll make that black because that's our steps to get there. But that's not my answer to this calculation, is it? Because I made the 50 10 times smaller by making it into 5. So I've now got to make my answer 10 times bigger. So I'm going to do 35 times by 10 equals. What do I do when I'm timesing something by 10? I add on a 0. So 35 times by 10 becomes 350. And now I've got my answer to my original sum, 350. Can you see what I'm doing? The little steps to multiply by multiples of 10. What I'd like you to do now is have a go at, I'm going to move this one out of the way for a moment because I think that one, leave that one down there for now. I want you to have a go in the same way that I have at doing this one for me. So we'll do 4 times 50. Okay, so there's our multiple of 10. See if you can have a go at this. Pause me. See if you can do it in exactly the same way that I've just done it to find out the answer. Pause me and come back to me in a couple of minutes and we'll go over it together. How did you get on? Did you manage to do it? I'm going to do it with you and see if you got it right. So check what you did. So I can't do 4 times 50 because that sum is just way too big for me. I don't know how to work that out. So I'm going to make my multiple of 10 times smaller. So it's going to become 4 times 5 equals. So this becomes 10 times smaller, it becomes 5. So just take the 0 off. I'm just going to make this black. There we go. So 4 times 5, that's easy because I know my 5 times table and my 4 times table actually. 5, 10, 15, 20, or 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, either times table. So the answer is 20. But that's not the answer to my original sum, is it? Because I made the 50 10 times smaller. So now I've got to make this 10 times bigger. So I'm going to do 20 times 10. How do I do something, multiply something by 10? Well done, I add on a 0. So 20 times 10 becomes 200. Did you get that? Well done if you did. And that means I found my answer to my original sum. The answer is 200. So you've got all the skills that you need to be able to work out these really big calculations using multiples of 10. Now the rule is the same, but the numbers are a little bit different when we are multiplying by a multiple of 100. And I'm going to do one with you. Now, I think it may only be for your extension today. You'll need this. I'm just only going to do one with you. The same thing happens. So here's my calculation, 4 times 300. I don't know how I would manage to do that. So I'm going to make this number not 10 times smaller, 100 times smaller. And I'm going to take off 2 zeros this time. So it becomes 4 times 3 equals, let's change the colour of this top one because that's our original question. There we go. Oh, that's yellow, it's quite bright. So I've made this number 300 100 times smaller. So I've made it 3. So 4 times 3. Oh, that's nice and easy. 3, 6, 9, 12 is my answer there. But 12 is not my answer to this one, is it? Because I made 300 100 times smaller by taking off 2 zeros. So what do you think I've got to do to 12? I've got to make it 100 times bigger. So 12 times by 100. Now, the rule for when I times something by 10 is by adding on a 0. What do you think the rule is when I times something by 100? Well done. I add 2 zeros on. So 12 times 100 becomes this answer. What number is that? Well done, 1,200. And I've now got the answer to my original sum here. 4 times 300 is 1,200. Squeeze it onto the end there. Put it squeeze on. Seems like it's too big. There we go. 4 times 300 is 1,200. And you did that just by using your multiplication that you know, and just making the numbers seem a bit smaller to help you out. So there's a few that we've done together now. What you're going to do for us today is a worksheet that we have saved. So let me stop this share and see if I can get up your worksheet for today. So you're going to need to do your date and your what, and you're doing your sums into your book, just like I have just done with you. So if you are in circles or squares, this is your worksheet. So for the first part, circles and squares, you can do this top part here on your sheet. So it says 3 times 4 is, and you write the answer. So that means 30 times 4 is, so it means you're making it 10 times bigger, the answer here. Okay, so have a go at those ones on the sheet. Then when you get to do these ones here, these different bigger numbers here that don't have the extra bit of help on the side, I want you to try and set them out in the way that I set it out, okay, on the flip chart on our smart board. So if it's 40 times 3, you write that out, then underneath in your book you make 40 10 times smaller, so it becomes 4 times 3, and then you make the answer 10 times bigger. Okay, so you're setting that out a bit differently into your books, circles and squares. If you're in hexagons, you've got quite a long list here of calculations. Now, we do not expect you to do all of them. So maybe start at the top here and work your way down. And remember, we don't expect you to do any more than an hour in total. So whatever time you've spent already, and once you finish listening to me, spend the rest of the time up to an hour doing as many as you can here. We don't expect you to get all of them done. So I've just shown you an example up here of how to set it out, which is exactly what I did on the smart board with you. So here's 80 times 7. I've done 8 times 7 first, and then I've times it by 10 to get my answer here. So the first one's been done for you. You're doing these into your books, not on the sheet, showing us how you worked out the answers. Okay, so that's the hexagons. Now, if you do get finished and you want to push yourself a little bit further, there is this multiplying by 10 and 100 aeroplane and parachutes. So it says multiply the number in the airplanes by 10 and 100. So here is one airplane, 32. If I did 32 times by 10, we know that we just add on a 0, don't we? So that becomes 320. So if you coloured this in green, you then have to find 320 and colour that in green as well. Same aeroplane, 32, but this time you multiply by 100. What do we do if we multiply by 100? We add 2 zeros on. So this becomes 3,200. So it's green here, it's green here, and you find 3,200 and you colour that green in as well. So you're going to need, let's see how many aeroplanes we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 aeroplanes there. So you're going to need 8 different colours. Maybe you could do like a split colour, red and blue aeroplane, and then split the parachutes into red and blue. So that's your extension if you manage to get some of these examples done. Now, I'm just going to flip back to the smart board that we were looking at. This is the way that I'd like you to set it on your book. So you're going to need your date and your what. You write the original sum. If you want to write it in a different colour, then you can. And then you do your working out down here and write your answer back in the top. So if you need to keep this on the screen while you're working to remind you how to set it out, that might be a good idea. Otherwise, do what you can. Remember the little steps, the rules. If it's a multiple of 10, we make it 10 times smaller, and then we times that answer by 10 again. So it's like 2 steps. Make the multiple of 10 10 times smaller first to do the easy calculation. And then when you've got the answer, you multiply the answer by 10 to get your final answer. Sounds trickier than it is. Once you get going, I'm sure you'll get into the into a routine of what to do. There, obviously, when we're doing 100 as well, we just make it 100 times smaller and then times the answer by 100. But I don't think you've got any of those on your sheet, that you'll just need to know about multiplying by 100 in your extension. So good luck with that. I'm not sure, is today a marked task? I can't remember now. I don't think it is actually a marked task, but we have set today's activity for you to send your work to us in our normal way. Okay, now we haven't set it on Seesaw. I think tomorrow's task is on Seesaw, so you just send us your work as you normally would today. So good luck with that. Please let us know how you get on, and we will see you soon.